Hey everybody, it's Dave Dugdale, learningvideo.com. If you do any sort of professional video work, my guess is your bread and butter is interviews. So if you do corporate, you do documentary, you do promotional videos, a lot of it's going to center around some sort of interview. But if you own two different cameras, matching those two different cameras can be very frustrating to the point where you're pulling your hair out and you're like, I've been working on this forever and it's close enough, that's as good as it's going to get. Now there's no perfect camera out there. That's probably why you own two different cameras. Perhaps you have a 4K small and light camera like the Sony Alpha 6500, but you also might have a larger Canon C100 that has built-in NDs and XLR inputs. The major goal of matching two different cameras for an interview shoot is you want to seamlessly cut from camera A to camera B without jarring your audience out of the story. Now you can definitely shoot an interview with one camera, 4K, punch in and out when you need to get rid of the and the ums and tighten up the edit without covering it over with a lot of B-roll. But the problem comes you're shooting on that same axis, back and forth, zooming in and out. I prefer having two different camera angles with two different cameras. And also the biggest reason to shoot with two different cameras if you have a backup. Now for this course, we're obviously going to be concentrating on skin tones. We're going to be shooting people for interviews. Now there are several different automated ways to match up two different video signals. There's programs like 3D LUT Creator, there's DaVinci Resolve, and then also SpeedGrade kind of has a one-click solution to match up two. Unfortunately, they don't work all the time. In fact, I wanted to include it in my course demonstrating that, but they didn't work consistently, so I didn't include them. But the point I want to make here is, even if they did work, and sometimes they do, there's really no way to learn from it. You can't go into whatever that automated area was and say, oh, I want to deep dive and look inside. What did you do to the contrast? What did you do to the saturation? What did you do to the subtle hues around the skin tones? It won't tell you, so you really can't learn from it. Now I'm going to be showing you my workflow that I've developed over the last year. As you follow through my workflow step by step, you won't have to go back and retrace your steps, which is great, because it saves time. And I can do one of these matches in 8 minutes. I've timed myself. It doesn't take that long to actually go through this workflow. It's not that complex. It involves contrast, saturation. Now, if you were to do an automated way, like with Resolve or SpeedGrade or 3D LUT Creator, those take several minutes to do as well. So do you do several minutes on an automated process that may or may not work, or follow mine that only takes 8 minutes to do? All right, this course is going to be 0 art and 100% science. What do I mean by that? We're basically just matching up two different signals. What I don't want to have happen in this course is for me to say something like, oh, I need to move the magenta just a little bit this way in the midtones, and wow, it looks great, doesn't it? Well, I don't want to do that. I want to be able for you to repeat exactly what I'm doing in my workflow. I'm never going to say something like that without showing you why scientifically on the scopes. Now this course is only an hour and a half long. I did have it longer at one point, but I did feel like it was a little bit too long for this topic. Now, if you're buying this course, probably you have a certain pain point because you have two different cameras that you use a lot and they are not matching up in interviews, and you want to be able to fix that problem as soon as you can. And that's kind of why I've kept this course to an hour and a half long. Now I'm going to be doing 4 different camera matches for this course. The Canon camera that I'm going to be using will always have the same picture style, while the Sony camera will use different picture profiles, like S-Log2. I'm going to be making it harder on myself because I'm going to be doing them both straight to the camera, so you can see the differences between the two cameras quite easily. So you might be wondering, how close can I get with these color matches? And I can get really close. Maybe not perfect, but definitely a delta V a less than 2. And if you've never heard that term before, delta V a less than 2, from my understanding of how it works is the average human observer can't see the difference between two different colors that have a delta E of less than 2. Now, if you're just starting out, this is definitely not the course for you. This is more for intermediate to advanced people that maybe have used their camera for several years. They know how to read a vector scope, a waveform monitor, but really this course is, again, pretty simplistic in its workflow, and I don't really go into advanced color theory. This course centers around DaVinci Resolve, but I will show you a workflow of creating a LUT within DaVinci Resolve and bringing it into a program like your favorite NLE, perhaps Premiere Pro or Final Cut. So just like my other courses, this is a digital download. You can download it right now and start watching it, or you can stream it as well. Go ahead and click on the link down below. It'll bring you to the course page and you get started right away. That's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.